You've been lying to yourself for too long. Hiding behind that mask they handed you, the one that never fit. Pretending it's your real face. But tell me, how does it feel? Smiling when you don't mean it. Nodding when all you want to do is scream. It's eating you alive, isn't it? Yet no one notices. No one cares. To them, you're just manageable. A harmless pawn placed perfectly on their board. But let me share a secret. If you want them to see the real you, not the version they've shaped, you've got to destroy the facade they created. Tear it down piece by miserable piece. Burn it to ashes. That's the only way to make them feel the void they've been feeding you. And when they do, when they finally feel it, it'll rot them from the inside out. Beautiful, isn't it? Here's something else you need to understand. Every person who's hurt you did it because they saw they could. They noticed the cracks in your armor, the doubts you carried, and they dug their claws in deep. Why? Because weakness invites cruelty. Like blood in the water for sharks. But here's the twist. They don't expect you to fight back. No, they expect you to crumble, to break, to lie there while they feast. But what if you didn't? What if, instead of patching up those cracks, you shattered the whole thing? What if you killed the version of yourself they could control? Imagine the look in their eyes when they realize they've lost their grip on you. That's not just revenge, that's liberation. Use it. Let the pain sharpen you, harden you. Let it ignite the fire you've been too scared to light. You might be thinking, but if I change, won't I lose myself? Won't I become someone I don't recognize? Good. That's the whole point. The person you've been isn't working, is it? If it were, you wouldn't be here, drowning in doubt and stuck in the same place. So lose yourself. Lose every piece of you that's been holding you back. Lose every part that's kept you small. And find the version of you that doesn't care about their opinions, the version that takes what it wants without asking for permission. Think about a snake. When it outgrows its skin, does it hesitate? Does it cling to what no longer fits? No. It sheds it without a second thought, leaving it behind as it grows into something stronger, something more. Be the snake. Shed your old self, your old life, and let it rot behind you. When they come looking for the version of you they used to know, let them find nothing but emptiness. Let them feel the weight of your absence, the sting of your transformation. You want them to regret how they treated you? You want them to lie awake at night, haunted by the ghost of what they destroyed? Then give them something to regret. Become the nightmare they never saw coming. But you can't do that if you're still clinging to the past, to the broken pieces of who you used to be. Kill your old self. Let the new you rise, stronger, colder, untouchable. And don't do it for them. Don't do it for revenge. Do it for you. Because you deserve better. You deserve more than the life they forced you into. You deserve to be freed after more than their punching bag, their scapegoat. And the only way to claim what you deserve is to take it. No apologies, no compromises, just take it. People love to talk about redemption, about how everyone deserves a second chance. But let me ask you this, when did they ever give you yours? When was the last time someone reached out to pull you out of the abyss instead of pushing you further into it? That's the truth they don't want to tell you. Second chances are a privilege, not a right. And they're almost never handed to those who need them most. If you want a second chance, you've got to take it. Rip it out of the world's greedy little hands. That means letting go of every expectation, every fantasy you've clung to about how things should be. There's no fairy godmother coming to wave her wand and fix your life. If you want a new beginning, you've got to destroy the old life with your bare hands. Look at me. I didn't wait for the world to fix me. I took a hammer to the broken pieces they left behind and built something new. Maybe it's not the kind of beauty they write poems about, but who cares? I don't need their approval, and neither do you. That's the first thing you need to understand. Their opinions, their judgments, they're just noise, static. The moment you stop listening to them, the silence is deafening for them. It drives them mad. They want you to be predictable, to stay weak, to play nice and fall in line because it makes their lives easier. But easy doesn't win. Easy doesn't make them regret every single time they underestimated you. Do you think wolves care about anyone's comfort? Wolves don't care about the comfort of sheep. They take what they want, leaving the herd trembling in their wake. And that's exactly what you need to become, a wolf in a world full of sheep. No more apologies. No more excuses. Just hunger. Relentless, unapologetic hunger. You see, people have this strange obsession with forgiveness. They act like it's some grand virtue, like it makes you noble or strong. But let me tell you the truth, forgiveness doesn't heal wounds, it hides them. It gives the people who hurt you a free pass, a get-out-of-jail-free card, while you're left bleeding in the dark. So don't forgive them. Don't forget what they did. Use it. Every betrayal, every insult, every time they left you for dead, let it fuel you. Let it burn away the part of you that ever needed them in the first place. Here's the truth about power. It doesn't come from kindness or compassion. It comes from pain, from suffering. The strongest people aren't the ones who've been sheltered or protected. They're the ones who've been broken, torn apart, and somehow managed to put themselves back together. They're the ones who've walked through hell and come out the other side, not as victims, but as demons. And that's what you need to become. A demon. Something unshakable. Unbreakable. Because the world doesn't respect nice people, it respects survivors. It respects those who refuse to stay down no matter how many times they're knocked to the ground. Do you know what they fear the most? It's not strength. It's not power. It's transformation. The moment you change, the moment you become something they don't recognize, you take away their control. They can't manipulate what they don't understand. They can't predict you if you don't follow their rules. And that terrifies them. Stop trying to fit into their box. Break it. Burn it. Scatter the ashes and build something they can't even comprehend. You've got a choice to make. Keep being the version of yourself they've walked all over. The one who says yes when you want to scream no. The one who bends and breaks just to keep the peace, or kill that version. Bury it so deep that even you forget it ever existed. In its place, build something stronger, something darker, something that doesn't care about their opinions or their approval. It won't be easy. Killing your old self is messy, painful, brutal work. But that's the price of freedom. That's the cost of becoming who you're meant to be. And trust me, once you've done it, once you've shed the skin they wrapped you in, you'll feel it. That weight lifting off your chest. That fire igniting in your soul. You'll feel alive in a way you never have before. And when they see you, when they realize what you've become, it'll destroy them. Not because they cared about you, no, they only cared about controlling you. But when they see they've lost that control, when they see the monster they helped create, it will eat them alive. That's how you make them die from within. Not with violence, not with vengeance, but with transformation. With undeniable proof that you don't need them, that you never needed them, and that you're better without them. So go ahead. Kill your old self. Bury it. Burn it. Whatever it takes, just make sure it's gone for good. And then rise. Rise is something they can't ignore, can't control, can't destroy. Rise is the version of you they never saw coming. Be the version of you that doesn't just survive, but thrives. The one that takes what it wants and leaves the rest in the dust. Because in the end, it's not about them, it's about you. It's about reclaiming your life, your power, your identity. So stop waiting. Stop hesitating. Start tearing it all down. You've been holding back, haven't you? Always holding back. Afraid of what they'll think if you step out of line. Afraid of the whispers, the stares, the judgment. Let me tell you something, they're already judging you. Every step you take, every word you say, they're weighing you, measuring you, and laughing behind your back. So why not give them something real to talk about? Why not show them the fire they've been trying so hard to extinguish? Burn so brightly that their shadows have nowhere left to hide. There's power inside you, power they don't want you to see. Because if you see it, you might stop being their victim. You might stop playing their game. And that terrifies them. They've spent so long building their little hierarchy, their fragile illusion of control. And the moment you rise, the whole thing crumbles. You think they're strong? You think they're untouchable? No, my dear. They're as fragile as glass. One crack, just one blow, and they shatter. They've been lying to you your entire life. Lies like, be kind, and kindness will come back to you. Lies like, if you're patient, good things will happen. But here's the truth, they feed you those lies because they want you docile. They want you waiting for a moment that will never come. Kindness doesn't give you power. Patience doesn't bring you success. Action does. Ruthlessness does. You want to succeed? You want to win? Then stop playing by their rules and write your own. No one's coming to save you. No one's going to hand you what you deserve. If you want it, you've got to take it. And don't you dare feel guilty about it. Don't let them twist your ambition into something ugly. Ambition isn't a sin, it's survival. It's the only thing that keeps you from drowning in the mediocrity they want you to settle for. They'll call you selfish. They'll call you ruthless. But remember this, every insult they throw at you is proof that you're winning. That you're breaking free of their box. They put you in that box, didn't they? You want to talk about killing your old self? Let's get real. Killing your old self isn't just a metaphor, it's war. A bloody, brutal war against every habit, every thought, every weakness that's held you back. It's not easy. It's not clean. It's messy. It's painful. It'll tear you apart. But that's the price of transformation. You can't build the new you without demolishing the old. So grab a hammer. Grab a torch. Start swinging. Tear down every lie they've told you. Burn every bridge that leads back to the person you used to be. Don't stop until there's nothing left but ashes. They'll try to stop you, of course they will. The moment they see you changing, they'll panic. They'll try to drag you back down, back to the version of you they could control. They'll use guilt, manipulation, even love if they think it'll work. But here's the thing, love doesn't control. Real love doesn't cage you, it sets you free. If they're trying to hold you back, it's not love, it's fear. Fear of losing you. Fear of losing their grip on you. And you've got to be strong enough to walk away from that fear, no matter how much it hurts. Because the truth is, you can't grow in a cage. You can't thrive in a prison built from someone else's expectations. You've got to break free, even if it means breaking their hearts. Even if it means breaking your own. Pain is the price of freedom. But freedom? Oh, freedom is worth every drop of blood, every tear, every scar. And when it's done, when you've killed your old self and risen as something new, don't look back. Don't second guess yourself. The past is dead, and you buried it. The only thing that matters now is the future you're carving out of stone. Be ruthless. Be relentless. Be unstoppable. Because the moment you hesitate, the moment you doubt, they'll see it. And they'll pounce. They'll drag you back into the shadows, back into the life you fought so hard to escape. Don't give them the chance. Don't give them the satisfaction. You want to make them die from within? Show them the version of you they never believed could exist. Show them the strength they tried to break. The fire they tried to extinguish their disbelief. Make them choke on it. And when they come crawling back, begging for forgiveness, don't you dare give it to them. Forgiveness is a gift for the deserving, and they don't deserve you. Not the old you, and definitely not the new you. You think this is just talk, don't you? Empty words? Look around. Every empire, every revolution, every story worth telling started with one thing: someone deciding they were done being a victim. Someone choosing to burn the script they were handed and write their own ending. That's what I'm asking you to do. Write your own story. No co-authors. No editors. Just you and the raw, unfiltered truth of who you are. But they don't want you to know that. They want you to believe you're powerless, trapped, bound by the circumstances they forced on you. That's their game. They keep you small so they can feel big. But here's the thing, they can only trap you if you let them. They can only win if you keep playing by their rules. Do you know what their biggest fear is? It's not you standing up to them. It's not you fighting back. It's you realizing you don't need them, that you never did. The moment you stop seeking their approval, the moment you stop caring about their opinions, you win. That's when you become unstoppable. And nothing terrifies them more than someone who has nothing to lose. So lose it. Lose the fear, the doubt, the guilt. Lose the version of yourself that bends, breaks, and bleeds for people who don't deserve it. Kill it. Bury it so deep they'll never find it again. And when they look at you, let them see the void they created. Let them feel the weight of the person they took for granted. Because that void, that absence, will haunt them more than any words ever could. They built their lives on your silence, your compliance. But what happens when you stop being silent? When you start demanding what you're worth? They crumble. They fall apart. Because their entire existence depends on you staying weak, staying small. And you're not small. You're a storm waiting to happen. A wildfire waiting for a spark. And it's time to ignite. Let them feel the heat of everything you've been holding back. Imagine them years from now, sitting in their perfect little lives, their perfect little worlds. And then they see you, not the you they knew, not the you they tried to break, but the you they never saw coming. Strong, unstoppable, unapologetically alive. Imagine the way their faces will fall, their hearts will sink when they realize they were the ones who pushed you to become this. That every insult, every betrayal, every moment they made you feel less was just another nail in the coffin of the person they thought they controlled. That's the irony, isn't it? The very thing that used to break you becomes the reason you rise. Their cruelty, their apathy, it's the fire that forges you. And when they see that, when they understand what they've created, it'll destroy them in ways you never could. They'll lie awake at night, haunted by the ghost of what they could have had, what they could have been a part of. And you'll be too far ahead to even notice. Revenge isn't about hurting them. It's about thriving without them. It's about building a life so big, so bold, that their absence becomes irrelevant. That's how you make them die inside, by proving that their actions, their words, their opinions mean absolutely nothing in the grand scheme of who you are. But none of that happens if you stay the same. None of that happens if you cling to the person they made you. You've got to let that version of yourself go. Completely. No half measures. No looking back. You can't hold on to the past and move forward at the same time. So choose. Stay in the cage they built for you, or break free. Show them what happens when they lose control. Look at me. Do I look like someone who plays by the rules? Do I look like someone who cares what people think? No. And that's why they fear me. That's why they can't stop me. Because I don't need their approval. I don't need their permission. I am who I am, and that terrifies them. And you've got that same fire inside you. I can see it. It's there, buried under all the lies and doubts they've piled on top of you. But it's there, and it's time to let it out. Kill your old self. Do it tonight. Do it now. Take a good, hard look in the mirror and say goodbye to the person you used to be. Burn the bridges. Tear down the walls. And let the ashes be a warning to anyone who ever doubted you. Because the new you, the real you, that's someone they'll never forget. That's someone they'll never recover from. So go. Build a life so wild, so fierce, so untouchable that they can't help but envy it. Kill your old self. Let them see what happens when someone stops playing by their rules. Let them feel the loss, the regret, the emptiness they created. And you'll be too busy living to care.